What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus Ally gameplay video for you guys, or at least I sure hope I do. I tried to do Resident Evil 1 earlier today, and that game did not want to even, work properly. It would launch, windowed, and then you'd go into the video settings and be like, oh, well, I'll just make it not window anymore. Wrong. Crashed every time. Couldn't get that game to work. So, had to make one of those fail videos like I did with the Steam Deck where I can't get the game to run. Didn't think I'd be doing that so soon on a Windows device, but hey, it's brand new, so there are gonna be some games that are probably like, what the fuck is that thing? I don't know what the fuck it is, fuck you, blah, and just die. So, anyway though, so now I figured we would try a little Resident Evil 3. We just did Resident Evil 2, and I tried to do 1, so now it's time for 3. So, I don't know how well this one's gonna work, but hopefully it'll do pretty good. It should do similarly to the second one, but only one way to find out. Let's go and get started now. Unfortunately, the speakers, or the sound is still only coming out of the speakers. I tried before I even found out that Resident Evil 1 failed to work. I tried launching that, and every time there's a place where they shoot someone with a gun at the very beginning. So I would hear the gunshot through these every time. I go, okay, cool. And no matter what I did, I still couldn't get it to work. So unfortunately, guys, it's going to be another all camera only. I apologize about that, but it's the only way I can get any footage on this thing right now until they update whatever is making it do that, because I can't seem to get it around anymore. I used to just either doing the sound driver, which doesn't really make sense in the grand scheme of things, seeing as it's USB-C, and I'm pretty sure that's all GPU. So I also tried doing the AMD drivers a couple times, and before that would sometimes get it too, but not this time. Not yesterday and not today. So it is what it is. So let's just go hop into the game and get started. So alright, first off, we're just gonna try just maxing the game completely out, ray tracing and all, just like we did on the second game. So let's just cruise through real quick, see what all those settings are, and we'll see if it crashes or does anything weird, seeing as though it's saying it's using way more VRAM than it actually has available. And alright, so with that, why don't we go ahead and hop into the game and we'll see how it does. It's probably not going to do well though, just like the second one didn't. But only one way to find out. Well, here we are in the game. Maxed completely out, and yeah. Pretty much just like the other game. We're at like whopping 20 and 18 FPS. Still though, we'll get a little gameplay here. Alright. Done with the sync, so now let's go answer that phone. So obviously this is completely unplayable, but still just want to get a little footage here just for fun, see if it crashes or does anything here for a little bit.
Hello? Jill, are you okay?
Brad, is that you?
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking about?
I don't have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
Alright, let me grab my...
No. Denied. No grabbing shit. Ouch. Heck yeah, 14 FPS. We're really rocking now. 13. How low can it go? Obviously, though, we're running at absolutely a stupid setting in the first place, though. This is not me insulting the Ally or anything like that.
What the hell is that thing?
He's like, nope, I don't think so, bitch. I don't get you. But anyway, this is about where I was stopping on the other computers, so why don't we go ahead and move on to the next setting. Now we're going to start with the presets here, starting of course with max. So let's go see what max does. I believe it turns ray tracing off. That's why I did ray tracing with the game max, because that's not even an option. Even though it was a dumb idea, I just wanted to see what it would do on here, because I'm sure some people were curious how ray tracing does. And there we go. We've reached the bottom, so why don't we go ahead and jump into the game now and see how it plays. Hopefully it does a teensy tiny bit better now. Well, now, here we go with the preset maxed. Not bad. 40, what is this, 40s, 30s FPS? Man, even some 50s here and there, nice. That's not bad at all, considering we're at 1080p, maxed out, and there's no FSR going right now. These kind of games love to do FSR for the other presets, though, so I could be wrong, but I think all the rest of the settings from now on are all going to have FSR. At least until we get to my settings, anyway. I'm not going to use that, because it's FSR 1.0, and I think that looks like trash. That's just my personal opinion. So, I will avoid using that at all costs in every game I play. So yeah, no, this is more than playable. Would I love 60? Hell yeah, but considering this is maxed out at 1080p, these are more than playable FPS. Now let's see, once we get this guy breaking through walls and making explosions, will we at least stay above a 30 FPS experience? We're already at 35 now, so I doubt it. But let's find out. 33. Yeah, if it could just stay over 30 FPS, that's great. Considering it's maxed out. Or we dropped down to 29, 28, but I played Elden Ring with shit like that happening. That's not the end of the world. So yeah, literally just mess with a couple settings, turn a couple settings down, yeah, you'd probably stay above 30 the whole time. No matter what. At least at the 25 watt setting, anyway. Gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here. We're gonna go down these stairs and this guy's gonna come down. This game's great at thinking, oh yeah, you're fine. Nope. But, in any case, we can now go ahead and move on to the next one. Time for another preset that's probably not going to work good. We're going to try the ray tracing preset now. So let's back out of there real quick and we'll scroll through the settings real fast so you guys can see what all the settings are. And alright, and with that we have reached the bottom. So, let's go ahead and hop back into the game and we'll see how it does. It's probably not going to be much better than it was with maxed out since ray tracing is involved, because ray tracing kills on AMD right now. Just kills your FPS. Still kills your FPS on Nvidia too, but more so on AMD, and especially if you're on a lower powered one like this. Anyway, into the game we go. Here we go with a little ray tracing preset now, and while it's not playable FPS, it's nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Probably because they're incorporating FSR too. Okay. Are we done with the sync? Hell yeah, we are. So now it's time for the ass kicking. And we'll see what kind of low ass FPS we get once this guy busts through this wall. Though still, I am a little surprised. I figured we were still going to be in the teens the whole time. Not touching the 30 FPS mark at times.
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking about?
I don't have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
All right, let me grab my...
There we go, down to 21, 22. That's more of what I was expecting it to be the at best. I'm definitely going to be excited to come back and try all these games once they like fix all the performance too, because this isn't even that bad considering what we're trying to make it do. There we go. We finally dropped into the teens a little bit there.
That thing.
WTF, mate?
No way.
It wouldn't be very fun to get punched by that thing. Anyway, though, looks like it's time for us to move on to the next setting. Going to do some graphics priority preset now, so let's go ahead back out and we'll see what that does for our settings here real quick, and then we'll bounce back into the game. Now it does have FSR on, unfortunately, but it does get you some more frames. I just don't like the way it looks, so I tend to not use it, especially if it's 1.0. But anyway, let's go hop into the game and we'll see how this one does. Well, now here we go, graphics priority now. Alright, well, so far so good. Very playable FPS. Alright, let's go do our little look in the mirror scene so we can get on with the ass kicking. And all the explosions and wall bustings, and I feel like that's a great way to test for FPS. To the phone.
Who could that be?
The phone of slaughter, that's what it is.
Hello?
Jill, are you okay?
Brad, is that you?
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking about?
I don't have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
All right, let me grab my...
Oh, drop down to 58. Oh, crack the thing in half, throw it away. Oh, down to 54. Still though, this is still pretty high graphics. So I got my work cut out for me if I'm gonna want to get 60 FPS without FSR, it seems. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I might have to not deal with 60 FPS because I don't want to have to use FSR 1.0. And we're dropping down into the 40s with,
What the hell is that
you know,
thing?
graphics priority. So that's probably a lot of the settings I would have been using. Uh-oh. Duh. Oopsie daisy.
No way.
Ooh, there we go. Had to crack my ankle. Anyway, though, we have reached our spot of stopping, so let's go move on to the next preset. Time to do balanced now, so let's go cruise through the settings just real fast here. And we've just reached the bottom. So, now let's go see how the balanced preset does. Right on, so now we're on balanced. So let's see how balanced does. Getting almost 100 FPS now, so that's pretty good. And even though we got FSR on, it doesn't look like absolute crap, but definitely doesn't look great either. But it looks very playable. Yeah, I guess it doesn't look like absolute crap. That still looks pretty good. But I can always notice, like, when she brought her fingers up to the screen, I can always notice her fingerprints when we're not using FSR at all. And when we are, I can never see them. They're always just a little too blurry to see. It's not a huge deal. You see that like for 1 second of the whole game, but that's just an example of finite detail that gets lost when you do FSR. Even on ultra quality like it's on. But most of the time, that's a non-issue. It's just when you get really up close to stuff. Right. Let's go see how our frames do during this guy breaking in like a fucking wrecking ball.
Brad, is that you?
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking about?
I don't have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
All right, let me grab my...
We're staying above 60, so that's good. $69, nice. No stomp. No punch. We must flee, or we will surely die. So we went down to like 63, 64 there for a second, but still above 60. At least on the balance settings, so that's cool. Though we're not at 1080p though at this point, because almost every setting this dang thing has is got FSR on, so it almost doesn't make sense for me to put the 1080p on the side like I do in the description, but I'm still going to do it because it's the only way to differentiate which default resolution I'm on, not necessarily what the FSR is.
No way.
Alright, let's jump in here. See if again we can stay above that 60 FPS mark while this guy breaks through and tries to beat the shit out of her some more. And then do very, very odd things with the tentacle. But anyway, let's move on. Going to do some performance priority now. So this is pretty much like, whatchamacallit, first person shooter mode, where all you give a shit about is nothing but FPS. Everything else can eat a dick. But anyway, let's back out of there now and cruise through the settings just real quick so you guys can see what all it changes. And alright, and with that, we've reached the bottom, so let's go and see how this particular preset does. So now we're on prioritize performance, and yep, we're getting 135 FPS. So it's definitely doing that. Wow, it's actually staying really close to its native refresh rate. Oh, now it's dropping a little low. Oh, now it's back again. Definitely doesn't look as good for now, but still, on such a small screen, a lot of people would rather just have all the FPS they can have. And it's cool that the game just gives you cool options that are easy. You just be like, alright, nope, boom, hit this option, alright, this looks good enough to me, boom, I'm playing the game. But me, I like tinkering, so I always go in and fiddle with settings and whenever I get a new game until it exactly does what I want and looks exactly how I want. And that's the main reason why I love PCs.
Hello?
Jill, are you okay?
Brad, is that you?
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking about?
I don't have time to explain. You gotta
He doesn't
get out
have
of
no
there
time.
right now.
Not even a moment. Looks like she doesn't either. Here we go. More ankle cracking. Other one this time. And she's about to get cracked in the ribs. Ouch. That would be like fucking 5 or 6 broken ribs for sure. Screw you. This door will surely protect us. Oh wait, maybe not.
What is that thing?
Hey, stop throwing the apartment at me.
No way.
And here he comes. But yeah, no, we got great FPS no matter what on this setting, so if FPS is all you care about, the game doesn't even look that bad, at least on the screen itself. Just looks a lot softer than it could without the FSR. So you could just run that and turn FSR off and it'd still probably be more than above 60 FPS. But anyway, let's move on. Now we will do the recommended preset before hopping on to my settings. So let's bounce out of that real quick and we'll go see what that does. And alright, and with that, let's go see how recommended fared. Well now, we are on recommended, so let's see how that does. It'll still probably drop under 60 here and there, but we're only going to be able to tell if we go around here and do the same little test run we've been doing. So first we'll start by turning on our light and checking ourselves out in the mirror. That way she can make sure she's not turning into a zombie like in her dream. Off we go to the phone of doom to get our ass kicked by a gigantic thing. There we go. We'll see how the FPS does.
Hello?
We're right around 70, so it might be able to, but oh no, we're down to 63 again. Nah, no, it's probably gonna drop a little, and it might drop down into the 40s in that one spot where we run into the flaming hallway again, but we'll have to wait and see. 58, yeah, 55, so it seems like it's going to be very similar to the... Crap, what one was that, max? So, yeah, so recommended can't quite hit 60 all the time. I have a good feeling I can get 60 with some good settings, though, without needing FSR, though. We'll have to wait and see, though. I could be very wrong. But a majority of the time, it's well over 60. Not well over 60, but over 60. In the 70s sometimes. And alright, and with that, let's go move on. Let's have a quick look at my settings now. Now, unfortunately, no matter what I did, while the game still looking good and not using FSR, I couldn't quite get 60 all the time. But these are the settings I went to get almost 60 all the time. Oh, went too far though. So, now let's go hop into the game and see how my settings do. Here we go with my settings now. So let's just walk around, turn some lights on. Turn even more lights on. Yeah, see, like I said, it still drops under 60 sometimes. And it probably really will when we get to the fight scene with him beating the shit out of us, but for the most part after that, though, it seems to be 60, 70.
Who could that be? Hello?
Jill, are you okay?
Brad, is that you?
It is indeed Brad.
What are you talking about?
He got something to
You
say.
gotta get out of there right now.
Alright, let me grab my...
Yeah, down to like 56 again. 55, 53, so we're in the 50s here. But it is a cutscene after all. I can't even move or do anything. So I think that's why I don't mind as much. Plus, like I said, this has variable refresh rate, so It's not as big of a deal when things drop under 60 as it is on other things that don't have that. Just as long as you're not stuttering like crazy. It can't help you if the game's gonna stutter or anything like that. Trust me, I know. Got FreeSync and G-Sync on a bunch of stuff. Time to duck and not lose our head there, shit. That would be absolutely terrifying. So terrifying, we're gonna block this door with a bookcase. At least slow him down a little bit, I guess. Although he could just come through the fucking wall, I suppose. Yep, so I think 720p is probably going to be the way to go if you don't want to ever drop under 60, no matter what. But I don't think this is doing too bad. And you guys know how much of a 60 FPS snob I am, and this still doesn't look like it's doing that bad to me. Looks good, plays pretty decently. Anyway, let's go and charge this thing up, seeing as though it's down to 31% battery, and my camera's also down to 2 bars from 6, so that's probably at about 30% battery. So, both of them could use a little charge. I don't really like when things get under 20% battery. And I know I'm not getting through no 720p with these things on their current charges anyway. So, it is time to charge, and then we'll come back and do 720p. Alright guys, now that these camera and the thing I had a chance to charge up, let's do some 720p now. So, first we're just going to max it out like we did at 1080p and just see what it does. It's probably going to run like absolute dog shit still, but I still wanted to see. Oh. One last thing. There we go. You can pop that up. Now the whole thing's maxed out. Almost forgot about the anti-aliasing. You can't forget about the anti-aliasing. Oh, and there we go. We've reached the bottom. So let's go hop into the game and see how it plays. So here we go. 720p maxed out, and that's including ray tracing. And yeah, it doesn't really seem to be getting that much better FPS than it did at 1080p with this the way it is. It's probably just mostly the ray tracing fucking it over, but I just want to do what we did before, just to keep things fair. We're going to go through all the same settings. And then I'll do my settings at the end. I normally I'd say with some camera, but we're doing the whole thing camera, so it is what it is. You can just watch that battery just drain. Just getting into the game and starting, and we're already down to 98%. That's what happens when you're doing high wattage on a battery the same size as the Steam Deck, I guess.
Who could that be?
I don't know, but they're probably going to tell us about our impending doom. Let's find out now.
Hello?
Jill, are you okay?
Brad, is that you?
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking about?
I don't have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
Alright, let me grab my...
No. Whatever this guy is, says no, you're not getting whatever. No gun for you. But she still got it anyway. But not without a quick kick. Which would probably kill, like, all of us. Like, instantly, or at least get us so messed up internally we would not be able to just shoot at the thing. But she's not exactly normal, so. And it's also a game, too.
What the hell is that thing?
Nothing good, so let's run. Let's run for fun. Not really run for fun, running more for terror. And trying not to die. Alright, down here we go.
No way.
And he has a surprise for us. We're not getting away that easy. No siree. But anyway, let us now move on. So now we'll move on to the first preset we're going to do, and we're going to try max first. So let's back out real quick for everybody who is just skipping around, and we'll go through all the settings again here just so everyone can see what it changes. And there we are. We've reached the bottom, so let's go see how it does. Hopefully it does pretty decent now, but it's still probably not going to hit 60 all the time, but hey, Maybe it could. Let's go find out now. Here we go, max preset now. Wow, almost getting 80 FPS. Wow, we are getting 80 FPS. Nice. But if we're already dropping down to 62 before we even get into the action, it's still probably not going to stay above 60 the whole time. But it'll probably be a lot closer than it was before at 1080p, I can tell you that. Because I think that at max dropped into the 40s, like 47 or something, when that guy busts through the wall and starts beating the shit out of us. Alright, now let's go off and answer our phone.
Who could that be? Hello?
Jill, are you okay?
Brad, is that you?
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking about?
I don't have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
All right, let me grab my...
Alright, so try went down to 57, 55, 54. So not the end of the world, obviously, but like I thought, it is going to drop. Didn't think we were going to get a 60 FPS experience maxed out even at 720p, but we got damn close. Oh, nope, into the 40s again. Kind of honestly the same as it was at 1080p. Not really much of a FPS increase here just by going 720p if I'm honest.
What the hell is that thing?
We must flee and get away from him. Even though we all know we're not actually getting away from him at all. Because he's got a surprise for us. Yes, indeed he does. Alright though, moving on. Let's do some ray tracing preset now at 720p. So let's back out of this screen and we'll scroll on through and see what's what here. Now it does have FSR on, so now it's already not 720p. But still, just going through all the settings. Oh, went too far. So we've got to the bottom of the settings already, so let's go see how it does with ray tracing here at 720p. Still probably not going to be playable or very good at all, but I'm kind of curious to see, and we did it at 1080p, so it only makes it fair that we do it here too. Well, now we've got the ray tracing preset, so let's see how it does. So far it's hanging right at around the 30 FPS mark, but we're still dropping down to 27, 28. So even for those who are okay with 30 F experience, it does drop a little. So it doesn't quite work, and I have a feeling it's going to go down into the teens once the dude drops into the freaking wall and starts trying to put wrestling moves on us. More like, not even wrestling moves, just fucking punches and kicks and death. For most normal people that get hit by them anyway. Shit. Alright. Now let's go see how this thing does with a little action here. Doesn't get too much more action-packed than a giant guy busting through a wall and beating your ass.
Hello?
Jill, are you okay?
Brad, is that you?
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking about?
I don't have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
All right, let me grab my...
Alright, 28 so far, 25, 24. Yeah, that's pretty low on under. I can deal with like a 27, 28, but if it's gonna go all the way to 24, I wouldn't want that happening to me while I'm trying to play anyway. This is just a cutscene, but definitely looks a little stuttery, you know? Because we are dropping under that even freaking film frame rate now. Barely, but we are. Most films are 24 still, I believe. Though I'd prefer it to still be 60, but hey, we ain't getting that with no ray tracing, that's for sure.
What is that thing?
Into the other window. And now down he pops to ruin all of our fun. Well now, let's get on with the next one. Doing the graphics priority preset as of now, so let's go and check out what that does here. At 720p as you can see, but it's not really 720p because they always turn on FSR. Oop. So we're gonna leave that on. I'd normally turn it off because I don't like that, but that's part of the preset, so if we turned it off, it wouldn't be a preset now, would it? Alright, and with that, let's go see how it do. Well, we've got prioritized graphics now. And wow, at 720p with the FSR on ultra quality, you get a lot of FPS at this setting. So you'd probably still get playable frame rates for sure if you just turned FSR off, but we're leaving the presets as they were, but we'll still do my settings at the end, of course, and I ain't using no FSR. That's for sure. Alright, well it does fine with just normal household activities, but let's go and see how it does when people are breaking through your wall. That's the true test. That and when he busts down through the fucking floor once we get to where we think, oh yeah, we're gonna get away. We're on a completely different floor than him. It's like, nope, he's got other plans, man.
You gotta get out of there right now.
Alright, let me grab my...
Still in the 90s. 80s. Yeah. Definitely more playable. Didn't drop under 60 at all. Oh, but we did drop under 60 a teeny bit right there.
What the hell is that thing?
So no matter what, it might drop a little under 60 at times, no matter what we do, unless we want to, you know, turn FSR on and make it look like trash. And it's already on, and it's already dropping under 60 a teeny tiny bit. So I'm going to turn it off, but probably go with similar settings to that I had at 1080p here.
No way.
Yes way, all the way, Mondo way, expressway. His way is through the floor though. Anyhow, let us go move on. Alright guys, now it's time to do ourselves some balanced preset here. So let's go check out all the settings real quick. Oh, went too far again. Damn it, I need to stop doing that. But anyway, let's go see how it does now. Balanced preset now. So let's just look around the apartment just real quick, spin around. Lots of FPS again. But will we be able to stay above 60 the whole time now? That is the question. Probably. But we have to wait until the fighty part. Already down to 69% battery. Nice. Now off we go to that phone. That way we can see what the FPS dropped down to during a little action here.
Hello?
Jill, are you okay?
Brad, is that you?
Listen, you gotta get out of
It
there.
sure sounds like him.
I don't have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
Alright, let me grab my...
Ah!
Alright. far so good. We're not dropping under 60 so far.
What the hell is that thing?
That's a good question, but I don't think we need to find out right now. We just need to run, 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 and not die. Well, there you go. One good step at not dying right there. Not getting your head taken off by whatever it is he threw. It looked like a piece of the apartment, if I'm honest. Probably the door.
No way.
Alright, and here we go. Alright, so far it looks like balanced is a perfect one for anyone who wants to say always over 60 no matter what. Don't know if my settings will be able to do that, but I'm going to sure give it a damn good try. I just don't want to use FSR really. I'll turn anything else down I got to turn down, but don't really want to give up and turn FSR back on. Anyway, moving on. Doing some performance priority now, so let's hop on out and see what we got down in the actual settings here. Oh, damn it, again. Anyway, that is the bottom, so let's go see how it does on this particular setting. Probably lots of FPS again. Prioritize performance now. And as you can see, we're getting like esports levels of frickin' FPS now. So the game does not look very great anymore. Still could look way worse though. Alright, time to go see how it does in more action-y stuff though. It's still going to stay above 60 if balance did, but I'm curious, what will it drop down to? Can it stay over the native refresh rate of this 1080p screen? That was only in 720p mode right now. Still retains the same 120 hertz though.
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking about?
I don't have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
All right, let me grab my...
So much ouch. What a trooper though. Alright, screw that, time to go.
What the hell is that thing?
Alright, let's try to get down here. That guy over there doesn't seem to be doing so good. He's hanging on for dear life. But we've got our own problems to deal with. Alright though, let's go ahead and move along. Let's do some recommended preset now. So of course we've got to look at all the settings real fast, so let's go check them all out. And alright guys, with that we've reached the bottom, so now let's go bust back in there and see how it do. Well now, let's see how recommended does. Look around here real fast. And alright, let's go get to that mirror scene real quick, because the quicker we get done with all that, we can get to the actual action-packed part with the dude trying to kill us. And that's where all the FPS drops seem to happen for the most part. Alright. She has figured out she is not turning into a zombie like in her dreams, so let's go get on with the rest of this here.
Who could that be? Hello?
Jill, are you okay?
Brad, is that
She's
you?
not gonna be.
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you
In
talking
about
about?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and
Let me
boom.
grab my...
That's a little off. Call it a delayed explosion. Just barely drops down to 56, 57 during this part. Oh, 55. Still not the end of the world. I'd like to stay over 60 all the time, but most of the time it's in the hundreds. I can deal with that every once in a while. Especially if I don't have this freaking frame rate counter up, you know? What the hell indeed?
No way.
And here he is again. He's never done with us. But in any case, why don't we go ahead and try my settings out now? Now for my settings, so let's check them out. And with that, let's go ahead and see how my settings fare in this game. Hopefully it'll stay above 60, but it'll probably still drop a little bit here and there, but let's go find out. Here we go. A little bit of my settings here. So let's go and do our thing here real quick so we can go and do more action-packed parts. And I forgot to go a little farther than last time, so I'll go a little farther this time. Especially because we got even more FPS this time. Alright, let the ass kicking commence!
Hello?
Jill, are you okay?
Brad, is that you?
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking about?
Got to get out! Get the fuck out of there! What are you doing, you fucking idiot? Get the fuck out of there! Fuck, we're all dead! Get the fuck out! So far so good, we're staying at well over 60 with my settings here. Cool.
What the hell is that thing?
Down, down, down we go. Where we think we'll be safe, but we're not. And here he is for the 100 millionth time. Haha, just kidding, you're not safe at all. Uh-oh, time to go. It still only dropped down to 68, even with all that crazy shit going on. Nice. But I think that's good, so let's go wrap this video on up. Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for Resident Evil 3 on the Asus Ally, and it did a pretty damn good job. With the right settings, of course. Now, 1080p we were not able to quite stay at, you know, over 60 the whole time, unless we used FSR, but as we all know, that's not really 1080p anymore. Same thing with 720. But we were able to stay at over 60 at 720 with my settings, so if you're alright with dropping down in like the high 40s, low 50s every once in a blue moon, but staying in the 60s to 70s most of the time, then my settings will work out great at 1080p for you. But if you're someone like me who would rather have 60 FPS and you can deal with a little bit softer image and still not have to deal with using FSR, then you can use my settings at 720p. Or sit there and tinker with your heart's content. Just use my settings as a base and figure out exactly what fits your particular play style. But anyway, that is all I got for you guys for this particular video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.